you're the one that needs to tell everybody this if they don't already know. This is a phenomenon. In the last 24 hours, Healy has done more business than just about every other network marketing company combined. One new Healy every 10 seconds, more than 9,000 machines. And you know what this means in terms of impact in the world? We all have our own personal missions. We all have our own personal goals. But in terms of what we're doing in the world, we are creating an entire, literally a revolution in the world of health. This is really heartfelt. I mean, everybody on this call should be totally congratulated. I want to send out my big overwhelming thanks to everybody who has participated in this. Is like amazing. And I just think, oh, you guys are the best people, the best humans. And Zach, your leadership is just incredible. Even just today, Zach has been on like 2 or 3 calls just helping me and my group. And he must have been on like 10 other. It's so awesome to see you, Zach, and you look amazing.
Thank you, Kingsley. I've been so excited for this. I was like, should I ask you to can we interview? Should we not? And when you said yes, I was like, yes. I was told Brandon, I told the team, and they're so excited to see you. For those who don't know Kingsley, he's been in the network marketing industry profession for over 20 years. He originally was a promoter for people like Jim Rohn, other amazing coaches, global influencers into Australia, and has been around personal growth and helping people. He just loves helping people. He's even I think you were the past on the corporate team of your own network marketing company, another network marketing company. You're an app developer as well. You have an app called I Am That I Am, and it's a really powerful affirmation mixed in with songs, mixed in with audios and binaural beats to help reprogram our subconscious. So I love that, you know, your vision is so big, and you're seeing that Healy is going to be an incredible tool to help you with, you know, raising the planet. So I'm just going to mute everyone. You might want to unmute yourself, Kingsley. So thank you so much for jumping on. I'd love to just start with your story. How did you come to be here today?
So good to see you, Brandon. Hey, you're amazing as well. Yeah, we were just saying congratulations to everybody. Well, I would just say that everybody has a story, and mine is just my story. But my story really starts off as just a little boy being driven to school by my dad, listening to personal development, and discovering the spoken word, people saying things well. It really touched my heart. I was listening to American motivational speakers, and one of my mentors, Tom Hopkins, he was talking about how to sell real estate because my dad was in real estate. So listening to, I could improve my life. There's a track that people are taking in order to achieve the success, that you could learn skills, that you could set goals, that you could work every day, you could have passion with what you do. I found that totally unbelievable. And so listening to personal development and then discovering books that I could read, which was like a roadmap, starting off with books like Think and Grow Rich. Like, what a title is that? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he talks about deciding what you want, writing it down, visualizing it, and it will happen. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I really recommend that book, Think and Grow Rich. Another book that I recommend is How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. And by Dale Carnegie. And I read that over and over, and there are audio versions of this as well. And there's so many things that you can listen to, so many voices that you can listen to. But those voices become a part of your subconscious mind. And see, the thing is with our mind, our brain, we're having all these different emotions all the time. We're having all of this stimulation all of the time. But for some people, that stress or the distress tells you to shut down. But actually, when you've had this programming in your mind, that is a trigger to go faster or to lean in. And so those words that you've listened to become your words. That empowerment that you have put into your mind becomes your empowerment, not only to yourself as that voice plays in your own mind, but when you become like a conduit. Like my mentor, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was one of my major mentors growing up, and he's a business philosopher. And many people would say that he's one of the greatest business philosophers of all time. And I had the real privilege of spending time with Jim Rohn, and I've listened to thousands of hours of Jim Rohn's programs. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he impacted millions and millions of people. And one of the things that he said was, for things to change, you have to change. And for things to get better, you have to get better. And another one of my mentors, Zig Ziglar, he said, if you can help enough other people get what they want, you can have whatever you want. See, that impacts you in such a deep level. And each of us need to have our own mentors. Each of us need to have the things that will inspire us to live up to a higher level. And this is why the environment of success is so, so important. The leadership structure that we're creating, the hierarchy of people with different stories and different experiences. But my story was just that little boy hoping that he could help his family. He got into personal development. He got on track. I went to work for a seminar company, like Zach said, after I left school. And, you know, I learned the skill of getting on the phone and talking to people, reaching out, making mistakes, you know. And I would get on the phone and say, you know, you got to come along to these seminars. But it's learning how to get on well with people. It's learning how to set goals and motivate yourself. You know, in those days, we each had everybody in the company had a different sticker, a different colored sticker. And we would create charts of the rooms, and we would see our color would start to spread across the room. And when we would make a sale, we would honk the horn or honk the elephant toy, or we would stand on our chair and we would pound our chest and go, yes, 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 to get this energy going. And you need to have goals. With Healy, you need to say, how many people am I going to get on the call? How many people how many sales am I going to have? That expectation is a projection. That creates energy. That creates action. That creates you stepping up to the plate, because you're going to see yourself as one of the speakers in the future. If you can't do it now, you will see yourself on stage. You will see yourself achieving the goal to go to Munich. You will see yourself having your Healy paid off, getting your first 3. All of these things are part of your pathway. So the seminar industry led me to learning about network marketing, right? So achieving these goals, becoming the #1 Jim Rohn salesperson in Australia, and we promoted a lot of different speakers. And I love that. So because wholeheartedly I love personal development, the problem was that there's a limit. There's only so many hours you can work in a day, right? There's only so many hours, even though we work the time zones. You know, you get to work, you get on the phone, you start your calling, you're doing sessions. You know, when you start a project, you have a certain mental fitness. And I think when you start from scratch, probably for me, a session would be like 3 hours before your energy starts to taper. And maybe as you continue, your mental fitness, your energy fitness grows, say, to 4 hours. And you do one session after work. Say you're working a full-time job. And this is what I did when I was working at the seminar company. A friend of mine contacted me about an opportunity, like somebody's recently contacted you about the opportunity. They said something's coming to Australia. And so I said, I would like to build something outside of my regular work, my regular job. If I quit the job, I don't get paid. They give my clients to somebody else. I've got no residual income. So to create residual income, we need a business that can run without you, where you can become less and less important to the generation of the business over time. This is building your future outside of your regular income. And so when I discovered network marketing, I thought that was for those people, those other people, right? Because I'm as high as a kite. I'm in the seminar business. I have a massive ego. I'm filling stadiums, right? I'm the one helping those entrepreneurs to achieve their goals. But I realized I wasn't achieving my goals. Right? So when I got my first opportunity, I said, no, Kingsley, you're going to get your share this time. I started putting aside 4 hours a night, 4 days a week, sharing the opportunity. Some people thought I was crazy. Some people thought this would never work. And some people thought this is awesome. So those people that thought that this was awesome, I started working with their people. I started doing luncheon presentations. I started doing breakfast presentations. We had a little group that was starting to grow. We did training meetings at my friend's mother's place because I didn't have a place, right? But we had excitement. We had a vision. We had a dream. We wanted something better to happen in our life outside of our normal work. And that little business grew around Australia, and literally within 18 months, my life had changed. Boy wonder, you know, jumping over tall buildings. That little boy, hoping I could help my family, became the mentor, right? And people coming up to me at these meetings, these big events, these hotel meetings with hundreds and thousands of people, and coming and lining up. What is the secret? You know, what is the secret? How you were able to, in a short time, quit your job, how you were able to help other people, how you were able to travel around Australia and inspire people. How did that happen? And I will tell you the secret is in you, the individual, you, because your life has meaning, your life has value, you are important. This life is your opportunity to express yourself. And whatever you can conceive or believe, there is an answer. There's an answer to the problems. There is an answer to the difficulties that you have in your life and the fears, because all you have to do is put that intention. The intention is creating an echo. That is what the Healy does, is creating an echo, right? This is how I got into affirmations. And I tell you about my company, how that was inspired. But that decision, the secret was deciding, I know there's fear. I know there are things I don't have. I had all these doubts. I can't do the same as those celebrities or those people that know all about the health. I don't have the databases. I don't have the money. Or, you know, I don't have the people skills. But you say, no, Kingsley, shut your mouth. You have to decide that you're going to get your share of this, that you deserve to have that life. You deserve it. And at the moment, that may just be you're just being propelled by your environment. You're being propelled by the person that reached out to you, that believes in you. Like when Sally contacted me about the Healy, she said, you need this. She came over. She cared about me. She's known me. We launched that company together 20 years ago. 20 years ago. The beautiful value of relationships over your life. And we went to the event in Salt Lake City, that convention, and it totally changed my life. And what I realized, we're not in the neighborhood. This is a global experience we're living in right now because of this technology that we have, you know, with the opportunity to reach out to people. Your business does not have to be where you are. Your business can be in all of the many, many countries around the world. And all you have to do is touch the heart and mind of one person that leads to one person, brick by brick. And Sally coming back into my life about 2.5 months ago with Healy gave us a direction to spend time together again. And I say to Sally all the time, you know, one of the best things, one of the most beautiful things about Healy is that this really gives us something that we can do together, because I always wanted to spend more time with Sally. I love Sally. Sally's one of the most beautiful human beings, and I am so grateful. And she has an incredible, you know, she has a great gift, and she has incredible leadership skills, and I'm so grateful for her with everything, because, you know, she's my rock in terms of the strength and explaining the Healy. Okay, but that decision is the individual. Now, once you've made that decision, all of the things that you need start coming into your favor. It's like the universe conspires in your favor. People will start taking you seriously, and those people, it's like almost miraculously, you're sort of tapping into something. When we say, you know, words like miracles, like doors are opening, like you're in the zone, there's a certain flow. People answer your messages that wouldn't necessarily answer your messages, but it came from your decision. I don't know how it works, but you realize it does work once you make the decision. Now, the second part after the decision is this thing called camaraderie, which is so important, because that camaraderie really it infuses me, because I don't really, for me, I'm not propelled by, say, you might be propelled by the trappings of success, and people are propelled by the trappings of success. But for me, I see in my mind people that I love and the smiles on their faces, and that's how I associate what I do, and that gives me power. So the camaraderie that I have with my team, I want to see them succeed. And so as that next person comes on, that their journey is linked with my journey. And then that excitement is building. And even though we have goals, and even though we have needs, and even though there are different life experiences, that smile of the person, you know, and that's what creates the momentum. So we come up against, you know, all of these technical things, too much information overload. We need to bring it back to a very, very simple thing. Is this going to help somebody? If it's going to help somebody, you should beautifully reach out to them, because you know it's going to help them. You already know something. You know something that is going to be able to, you know, whatever it is, you know the person, right? Whether it's on a health level or whether it's on an excitement level, you want them to be a part of that excitement. You want to introduce them to people that you think are absolutely cool. Like, you know, when I say I got this, you know, this friend Zach, he's so cool, and this friend Brandon, you got to meet these guys, and they're just amazing. I don't know anything about this machine, but that environment, inviting people into that environment, most people don't have that environment in their lives. So that's the momentum, and you don't know where people are at. So if you don't give them the opportunity, you can't predict for them what one person will lead to. All around the world, people want to take control of their future. People want to make more money. People want to be in business for themselves. And we have had record-breaking week after record-breaking week. We are seeing people that have never had experience in business before. And before they even know it, even within their first day of joining, they are making a sale with the assistance of their team. And now they're due literally more money than they probably made before in network marketing. And see, this is the beauty of the compensation plan that Healy has. It says 3 and it's free. It says right there, there's a target. It's a small target. You don't even have to believe you can change the future of your family, which you might want. But what you might be able to believe is that somebody that you're working with is so awesome that you could put somebody else that you think is awesome together. And say that was the key to my success when I was, you know, 21 years old, and becoming an inspiration to others. But the reason why is because I was absolutely sincere when I reached out to one person that I thought was awesome. And I said, you are so awesome, and I want to introduce you to somebody else that's so awesome. And then when those two awesome people got together, the awesomeness, they linked in with each other, and I benefited from that, right? So you start wherever you're at, right? So my story sort of went from understanding hard work equals success to understanding that it's not residual. And what I want to put my time and energy into is something that can grow beyond me, to something that I can be inspired for my future, not just another sale and pounding my chest, because that gets old real quick. What gets beautiful real quick is now you have an environment where people love you and care about you, and now you can become more of who you want to be, right? You can become, and you want to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Does this help somebody? Yes. Okay, good. Reach out to somebody. Now it's not complicated. Now you don't have to learn all the systems, and you can get better every day. But there's only two things we do. We build the business and we get better at it. Right? Now, a lot of people that get into network marketing, maybe that's their first experience of personal development. Yes, we need personal development. Yes, but we also need a vehicle in order to help. Otherwise, personal development is like motivation, running as hard as we can into a brick wall and knocking ourselves out. Okay, more motivation, run harder, 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 smash yourself into the brick wall. No, 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 no. You need a pathway so that when you use the personal development, you can get your goal. But you can't just use personal development, because the thing is, when people come into the business, they say, oh, I'm so excited by all this information. Beautiful. I'm going to get on every call. I'm going to go to every meeting. But there's no movement. There's no movement. You can't steer a parked vehicle. You've got to be amongst the people. And if you're making mistakes, you can see that you've made the mistake because you just got a reaction from somebody, right? But if you're not speaking to the people, and if you're sincere, everybody will give you credit. If you're sincere, right, everybody will get, and then you'll get better. So I would say you have to mix building the business with getting better at it. You don't want to spend all your time getting better at it. Okay, and so realizing this is a global business and realizing you get paid from wherever the sales are being made, that's an amazing concept. And so it's not a 9 to 5. It's about being excited about your future. It's being able to, you know, expand that feeling and that excitement to other people so that they can bring themselves into it. So, and let's say, okay, so now I'm in the flow, right? I've got 3 people who bought a Healy, right? Now I've achieved my first goal, but I realized actually, wow, each of them is needing, you know, somebody to help them with their contacts, and it's just sort of grown by then. Okay, but now we get into kind of the night to remember. You know, I don't know if this is good, guys. I don't know if you like this, what we're talking about, but the night, yeah? Okay, and so the night to remember is where you kind of, if you have time, we haven't had time lately, but the night to remember is at some point, you say, yeah, this could define my life. I could actually achieve some of the things. I want to do this in a really kind of, you know, more, you know, setting my goals manner, right? A night to remember is cleaning the house. It is going through your memories and realizing that you've had an amazing epic life up until now, and there has been certain things that you have achieved in your life that you can pat yourself on the back. It doesn't matter where your life is. Right at this moment, you have certain assets that you can bring to play. And now that night to remember is an opportunity for you to say you're listening to the country music or whatever music inspires you, and you get out the pen and pad and you write down, what if this could give me everything that I had hoped it would? What would I desire? And then you start busily writing out every single thing that would make your life amazing, that if you achieved it would put a smile on your face, it would be amazing. And what do you want to do in the next 10 years? What do you want to do in the next 5 years? What do you want to do in the next year? What do you want to do in the next 90 days? The next 30 days? What do you want to do this week? You want to become the best person that you can be, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You want to become valuable to your friends and family. Who will you be? Who do you want to be? Right? That's the night to remember. That's the night to decide. The night, it could be a whole day to decide. It could be you going away and spending time in the forest like Sally has done. I mean, and you know, and this is an integrated approach to your life. It's like learning from Zach and Brandon, talking about all of these different modalities, how to lead a good life. What is a good life? And that's what, you know, that's what what my concept of a night to remember is. It's a quiet time by yourself to kind of reflect of where your life is and where it's been and where you'd like it to go, because you are the person that is manifesting this. What is happening, what you are seeing is a mirror of what is being expressed. And at any moment, something supernatural can change and for things to change for you, you have to change, right? What you think about, you bring about. And this is where we come to affirmations. You know, my software and development company, 20 years of network marketing. I've lived in many, many different countries. I've done many different launches. Zach's, one of the proudest moments of my life was working for the Amazon herb company, which was Olivia Newton-John's company, where she brought the herbs of the Amazon to America. I was so proud of that because I really love that. And I really love personal development, and I really love network marketing for what it brings. It brings us together. It gives us a common purpose, a common momentum. And I will say that money coming in every week can be totally life-changing. What Sally and I built, what I just started off wanting to, say, replace my income from my job, now coming still after 20 years from what I did back then. It's a humbling thing. It's totally humbling. Imagine, Healy's at the forefront of this. We are the only company in network marketing. We have an exclusive on this whole new world of technology, frequency medicine. And the best is yet to come. We've only just begun. And see, what will that mean in terms of your legacy in earning income from what you do today in 10 years, 20 years, being able to pass this on, and that income can fund your projects. Like Sally is just such a beautiful person, but she's really been inspired by helping projects in Cambodia, where she's buying a house for a lady, and she's digging water wells and all of that. See, that's really amazing, right? So maybe you've got something that you would like that income to funding your church, right? Something bigger than yourself. So that's the night to remember. But I would just say that reflecting on my past, it's the friends that you make over time. The friends that you make over time is what makes life worthwhile. We only get given this one moment in life. So do your best, do your best. And what I wanted to do a few years ago is kind of come back to my personal development roots. I started a software company called Awaken My Life with my friend, Chris Workman, two-time American Ninja Warrior. He's a very talented app developer. And we created a software which you can download from the Apple Store, I Am That I Am. I Am That I Am is basically whatever you say after the words I am is what you will create, right? I am love, I am abundance. And there are many ways of doing affirmations. You can say, every day in every way, I'm getting fitter, faster, and stronger. I now command my subconscious mind to make me fitter, faster, and stronger, right? And, or you could say, what if everything that I had hoped or dreamed of became a reality, right? What if I became the best version of myself? So basically you're recording into your phone, and it becomes an audio file. And you can do this with the Healy aura analysis. So whatever it's coming up with the customized affirmations, you can put that in there. So with the mantra technique, you can put 6 of them in a row and it will play them on a loop. And then you can add music, you can add binaural beats, you can add visual effects, and you can listen to them in the morning, listen to them in the evening. As you're walking along the beach, as you're driving in your car, you're listening to this positivity, which will project you into your future, right? Over and over and over. I really encourage you to get that app. It's really a pride and joy. Spent years and years creating this, and thousands of people now around the world use it every day. And we've got so many 5-star ratings for it. I Am That I Am on the Apple Store. Download it. It's there's a free version and there's a very inexpensive version. I think it's like $3.99 or something a month. So yeah, I really, you can use it along with your Healy affirmations as a way of implanting that into your daily routine. And so I might actually pass it over to you to ask me any questions. But yeah, as I reflect, it's really been an epic life. Choose yourself, creating an environment of success, right? And then just going to work. Once that energy picks up, you can do more than one session in a day. So you've got one session, but now you're going to be able to do 2 sessions. Now you're going to be able to do 3 sessions. And like Sally, as soon as her eyes open, her phone's going ding, 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 ding. And then she's like working all day until like at the end of the night when her eyes close and she hits the pillow. But this has been so exciting.
I am so fired up, and I love your passion, Kingsley. You think we're awesome. I think you're awesome. And that was so exciting to see. I was taking pages and pages of notes. So many golden nuggets there just in your story alone. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I've got the app. And if you guys want to check out the app, it's in the chat right now. I am that I am. But we've got a couple of questions for you. So and if you've got any questions out there, guys, please ask the questions in the chat. We'd love to pick Kingsley's awesome brain.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's so many directions we can go with this. I mean, for starters, Jim Rohn, obviously we know that, he started his journey in network marketing. So to like him being an inspiration for you, was that a subconscious thing for starters, just seeing how he started when you were actually promoting him, when you were getting to know him and following his roots, when you started to get into network marketing and started to launch countries? Was that an inspiration in of itself that got you in?
I would say a few things about this. Personal development, like network marketing, has a history of people that have come before. So everybody, wherever you start out, you're learning the information from wherever you're learning the information. But there's no new truths under the sun. In terms of philosophy, like Jim Rohn learned from his mentor, Earl Schilf. And Anthony Robbins, at 19 years old, sat in a Jim Rohn seminar, and he got the information from Jim Rohn. And so we all have a journey, and we're coming against like these ideas that kind of integrate. And some of us, say you might not resonate with one person or another person or whatever. Somebody's story resonates with you. And this is why it's important to just finding what resonates you with the personal development speakers. And anybody could be your mentor, somebody that kind of elevates you. And that person is kind of, imparting something that you think is valuable. Now, with Jim Rohn, I was really, really fortunate, because even before I went to, I wanted this so badly. My parents couldn't afford to send me to the personal development seminar. So even when I was in grade 9, I went and did work experience at the company for free. And I was like licking stamps on letters. I was writing personal development quotes on the back. I was getting coffees. I was running errands, and I was in the green room, with all these speakers when they were about to get on stage. When Zig Ziglar was going to go on stage in the personal development event, and he was a master. So many masters. Back in 1993, Deepak Chopra came to Australia. Like, wow, like. And then 1994 Success Congress with Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Stuart Wilde, Marianne Williamson, Michael Rowland. Marianne Williamson just ran for in the government in America. So anyway, it all has a history. And so I think I love the spoken word. The spoken word, music mixed with the spoken word is also incredibly powerful, but it's very, very soothing. And I used to listen to these cassette tapes. Jim Rohn was one of them, over and over when I'd go to sleep at night, right? And it was just playing and playing, and I was so inspired. But that's why I wanted to be in the personal development business. And so I couldn't pay to go, so I just thought of an easier way. Just go directly to the company, start working for the company. So when I left school, they said, okay, get Kingsley on the phone, put him on the phone, see if he can make some sales. And so, yeah, listening to the tapes and reading everything and studying every day and working every day, wanting to get better. And I was learning new ways of getting the sale. creating urgency. You know, calling somebody up and saying, I got something you're going to absolutely love. I'm going to fax through the details and make sure you're going to get the thing in 15 minutes. I'm going to call you back and you're going to want to have your credit card ready so that you can get this because I want to get you in the front row. I want to get you the special offer or whatever. And I would just invent ways of creating excitement, but that was the sincerity because I cared about that person, right? And so that kind of, you know, the thing about the network marketing industry, a lot of people in the network marketing industry used to come to our seminars, right? As a way of fueling their business growth, they'd get their downlines to come. They wanted their downlines to be personally developed. And I saw that a lot of the top leaders were making unbelievable amounts of money, fortunes. But I never thought it was something for me, honestly, because I already thought I was the hero. But then I kind of realized that if I quit my job, I wouldn't earn anything. If I don't make another sale, I wouldn't earn anything. If I left the company, then all of my clients would be given to somebody else, whoever would be the next person. So I realized what residual income meant, right? I realized what residual income meant. These people that had been in network marketing for 20 and 30 years, that had developed income. I mean, even if they say disappeared from the industry, they continue to get paid. What the heck? How is that? How? What? How? How can that be possible? Right? But it's not based on what you do. It's the value that you bring to the world. The algorithm is already set up. If the sale is made, you're going to get paid based on the compensation plan. So it's not even related to what you do. It's related to the sale and where the sale is in the mathematical formula of the compensation plan. Ding, 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 all these people get paid. And if that happens in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, it's still happening, you're still getting paid. Okay, but I do remember one conversation with Jim Rowan. Well, I was in the back seat of a car driving him to the airport, and my mentor Terry Butler, he was talking to Jim Rowan. Jim Rowan was saying, you know, gone are the days where you could go down to the local river and pick up gold because it's just there. These days, he was saying it's now you've got to bring in the heavy machinery. And the heavy machinery is the database. That's what he was talking about, the database. And then the heavy machinery became the systems. And now the heavy machinery is in your relationships. See, the heavy machinery is your influence. So where people are coming into this business at every different level, they're bringing the influence that they have had from their whole life into it. So if you don't have a lot of influence, now is the time to start. You can only start from where you're at. And it really comes to remembering people, caring about people, being more effective with people, so that when you do actually have something to talk about, you can have somebody to talk about it with. And so this is where social media is a skill that if you learn social media, you can have a constant inflow of people actually reaching out to you by creating value, like what, you know, Zach does with the value posts, having interests where you're actually putting those interests out to the world, creating value. You're going to get interest. You're going to get new people watching that, and then they reach out to you and you interact with them. But that's the heart connection. Okay, so it's kind of a long-winded thing, but personal development and network marketing has a history. It's the same with Carsten. Carsten came into this after being in a number of other companies and different experiences, right? And some of those experiences are not necessarily good, but they shape you, you know, and that's the reality of being an entrepreneur, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. So, you know, you call somebody up, you don't have the skills, they hang up on you, or they try and talk you out of it, or now you're starting to contact people, they think that you're in the market, now they're cross-pitching you on what they're doing. And so now you've got all this kind of, you know, chatter which you weren't expecting. But that influence, the integrity of treating people well over your lifetime, is something that is going to set you up for the rest of your life, right? Always have integrity. If not now, then in the future, that relationship, and you don't even need to have an expectation of anything coming from a relationship. It's really from a point of view of caring about people, becoming a higher value person. And yeah, and that's how you can really transfer it. But leaders join leaders. I think you said that, Zach. Leaders join leaders. You can build it a lot quicker if you've got a life history that brings those good people in with you. But you start out where you're at. Yeah. But I love the spoken word. I acknowledge people who can say things well. I hope that I can say things well. You know, I've had the opportunity on speaking on stages around the world, and you know, I really, you know, we can change each other's lives. We can help each other's lives. I hope that my story can impact, you know, you. I'm no better than anybody else, but I did decide when I was young that I wanted something, and in order for me to achieve what I wanted, I needed to keep trying. I needed to keep going. I needed to keep, you know, believing in myself. And so if you're watching, that's it. Your life is important. You know, your life is precious.
Wow. What an answer.
I feel it.
And what we're getting is it's all about that journey and building that relationship and building your influence and value that you bring to the table. And so, I mean, the question I want to bring up is how, like, your experience has been with launching companies into countries now. That's kind of your forte with over the last 20 years. And I'm sure it's been a journey of building that influence, building that value within yourself, building the relationships you have, and believing and having that, you know, going back to that night to remember that, you know, and so, and following through on that. Is there any of a process that you could share with the team, or based on your experience of launching companies into countries?
I will. Okay, there's a couple of different experiences. I was living in China for 5 years, and a friend contacted me. This is how it always happens. A friend contacts you about an opportunity, and he said he's launching his own health and nutrition company in Salt Lake City. Get on a plane, come over. Within 1 week of living in China for 5 years, I got rid of all of my furniture. I said goodbye to my girlfriend. I got on a plane, and I was in Salt Lake City launching that company, right? And that's the momentum, right? It's like you guys have moved to Queensland. It's like, you know, burning the bridges. Because once you know this is where you're going, you don't have time for the past. You have time for the who. The who is the list and the excitement, and who you're going to get to, and how you're going to get to them, and who do they know, and what do they know, and how can you do it, and what your ideas are, and it's all coming together. So, yeah, and this is like a river. Once the river starts, you don't know where it's going to go and who's going to do it. And some of the people you think are going to be amazing are going to do nothing. And some of the people that you just like think that you don't even know if they're going to have any interest, they lead you to somebody that's like the best person that you've ever met in your life, you know? Okay, yeah, and so, yeah, somewhere on YouTube you can find my presentation in Las Vegas in front of like 1,000 people. And it was an amazing time when that company opened. And so it was the energy and the excitement. Now, in terms of, I also launched a company in Malaysia, right? Moving to Malaysia, living in hotels in Malaysia. And there is something to be said about you can't be a prophet in your own town. Like sometimes your own family thinks that what you do is a joke. You know, sometimes it's a hard reality. And so when you deal with other markets, when you're talking about life-changing opportunity, you can be a lot more intense because you are now the prophet. And that level of commitment shows. Like if you're say Australian or American or something, and you have a group somewhere else say in Europe or somewhere where you're not, it's easy for that group to edify you and for the best qualities in you to come out. And so that is really a really great way. And who do you know in other markets? Even the least among you can become all I have done, right? That is the thing. If you can talk to somebody, that one person can lead you to 6 degrees of separation from anybody. You don't know where that path leads. Love everybody, treat everybody like they are just a giant inside. That you know that one person, no matter how they appear, they have everything that they need to become the greatest inspiration that we've all ever seen. And they can lead you to all the best people, most amazing people. They invite you to different events. And now I'm suddenly, a celebrity in another market. So like, and then, I just say that, it's the energy. I lived in Malaysia. I lived in Thailand. I lived in Thailand for 4 years. Yeah, living in hotels. I went to Cambodia, launched a mangosteen drink. That was so fun. Yeah. And so even somebody on the street that I'm talking to, making a new friend, now is introducing me to the head of, the head of commerce in the government, and, leading me to come to my Toastmasters and give a speech. And okay, now I'm like meeting all of these people. You just go, what the hell? I could be helicoptered into any city in the world and have a network up within a very short period of time, just by being friendly and acknowledging people and asking questions of people. Who do you know? Right? Who do you know that has the most influence? Because we are so excited about the results that this is helping people with. Right?
Beautiful.
And starting today, until you are finished, you write that 500 up on your wall and you cross it off. And every time you do a quality meeting, you cross it off, 499. You do another quality meeting, 498. Every time you do a quality meeting, you check it off. If I dare you to get to 0 without being completely free in life, I double dare you. You put that on there, creating value in the world, becoming the best version of yourself. But the thing with Healy is it's happening a lot faster than that, because I see that the ratio in the sales process is so much higher than it happens very, very rapidly. And I would just say, as soon as you get off of this call, use this energy to do what you have to do to move your business to the next level with this promotion, because what can happen is unbelievable. Getting the 3 that you need, helping those people getting their 3 that they need, miracles will happen. Reach out. You don't know. You can even say that when you reach out to somebody. I don't know, but I wanted to make sure that I let you know, right? I didn't want you to miss out. That's sincere. Right? And if you've got an upline that's got certain slots, I've got 1 slot and we've got to fill it up. So you've got some people, we've got to bring them on. Yeah, we got to, and we just keep going and 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 keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And a miracle can happen, right? Sales will come out that you didn't expect.
So I love this. This is so good. Can everyone put a yes in the comments if you're loving the energy, if you're loving the golden nuggets? Like, I'd love to see all the high vibes in there. Kingsley, this is so much gold. I've got so many more pages of notes. I would love to know, someone's starting Healy for the very first time, right? They've just maybe ordered their Healy. It's arriving. It's taking a little bit longer than expected because of the delays. But what could somebody do to really set themselves up for that first month? And how do they maximize the business? How do they maximize their contacts? Like, how do they launch in that first 30 days?
Yeah, so it depends if you're going with the momentum, which is like a friendship, right? That friendship that I have with Sally was the momentum, because I have a very busy company. You know, with Awaken My Life, we've got different teams around the world programming our different devices, our different apps, and we've got different projects. So that momentum was created because of the promotion, was created because she was available, which made it very easy for me to put prospects on the phone. And because we had such a great result where we were making sales, it was kind of amazing. And then, you know, the people that loved it became more of a momentum for me as well, because then they had people. So I was kind of brought into it like that. Okay, so there doesn't need to necessarily be a structure, what I've observed. But in order to, say, sit down and make a plan, that's where you make a list. You make a list, you tick off the list, you contact people with impact. So you say each individual, what's going to make the most impact on that person. Some people you can get to their place and they would better have the experience in person. Some people would, you know, prefer a phone call. Some people you can send a text message and they would immediately contact you back, right? Some people you have to do it in a little bit more of a graceful, placid way where you're you know, asking them if they know about frequency, or some people more in a, I'm excited I got this little device for myself, if you can. So whatever is your best way to communicate with that individual person, but it's share a little bit of information, show a bit more information, which is, say, on a Zoom call or on a pre-recorded video, but the more personal, the better. If somebody's important, they can see that you giving them attention means that you've really kind of acknowledged them, right? And then when you bring them into the environment of success, linking them with the units, which are in the groups, right? Linking with that's the more structured program. The more structured program is the units. So you might want to give a plug for your Facebook group units, because I think that's where everybody, once they've made that, I want to do this as a business professionally, then you plug into the units.
It's super important. So I love that flow. So you're sharing some information, you're sharing some more information, and you're asking that question, how do I make the most impact in this person's life for them to understand Healy?
And the thing is, like Carsten, when you look at Carsten, you go, he is influencing whole groups, whole network marketing groups. He is really talking about generational legacy opportunity, where we are launching into the world of Healy, setting up lifetimes of income. That is very tantalizing. He's not even leading with the health benefits. The health benefits, they're basically unbelievable themselves. I mean, the credibility is what fuels the enormity of the income opportunity, right? The enormity of the income opportunity. But see, that's his focus, where that might not work for everybody. See, when somebody is really going to be impacted by the health aspect, or they're a healer, then using the device and showing them how to use the device on themselves and others is the way that they're going to interact with the world. But that's not necessarily the way that people that are building network marketing companies about the opportunity even worry about it. So you say, well, many people haven't got them. Well, yeah, well, we do our best. I haven't received mine either, but Zach lent me his. So I have the benefit of that. But I would say, in terms of the expectation of getting it, is also part of the momentum, because that's not a dismay. It's like what I was saying is, one thing that can destroy your opportunity is the same thing that can propel your opportunity. Because whereas one person says, I haven't got my machine, that means that I can't do it. Another person will say, I haven't got my machine. That is part of the story, that people are buying these in the thousands, even before they've even got the machine, just because everybody who's got the machine and the stories of the people using the machine and the friend of mine that did the thing on me That's the story momentum. That story momentum does not require a product. That story momentum requires a camaraderie and a get it done mentality. We have got, I mean, I don't know how many hours we've got, like 9 hours, right? 8 hours? 8 hours until the end of this promotion. Reach out to somebody, and that is really why you're contacting them. I'm sorry I didn't contact you till now, but we just got this great news that the promotion is for 24 hours. This thing has gone bananas all around the world. You know, I don't know if this is going to be for business or whether this is something that, you know, for your health, but I got one of these things. I was so impressed by it. You know, friends are having great results, but you should get this promotion. So get the promotion. You're going to totally love it. And let's see if we can get this person that you know, this person that you know. Okay, let's go to work. Let's go to work. You see?
Powerful. Turning the negative or destructive story into a powerful story of possibility.
And looking as an observer, like I look in all the groups after all these years doing network marketing, I kind of like, yep, same thing. It's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. You're going to have all these emotions and feelings in your own self. You're going to have the same emotions and feelings in your group. It's the same thing. Right? And the thing is that this is all just a dream anyway in the physical. There's no different to the dream in the physical than there is in the dream in the sleep. There is, you're creating your reality. As you move through your day, you've got many, many, many choices. That's why the environment of success is super important. The encouragement from your team and acknowledging people, and don't just acknowledge people once, but invite people again and again, and be genuine and sincere, and see the best in people and compliment people and congratulate people, and that energy and that momentum, and people will fall in at their own rate. And the thing is, somebody that wasn't interested because you were nice to them, they now think of somebody and then they introduce you to that person, and you just go, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. It's already been decided, right? It's already going to be decided that I'm going to have 3 people for this promotion. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to do my part. I'm going to write my list. I'm going to start contacting those people. I'm going to genuinely spend time with those people. And I'm going to genuinely say, well, what about this person, that person? And how about you? And how do you get to that person? And being curious and interested in helping people, right? But there's never a better time to get networkers in the business, because they always want to be in at the beginning. If someone believes that they are a professional networker or they've made a lot of income before, they always believe, whether that's true or not, they believe that they want to be in the better. And it's also a kind of respect. If someone doesn't contact me when they just got in, maybe they don't think that much of me. If they say, if you join today and you don't contact those key friends because you're intimidated, they have more money than you, they have more success than you're going to contact them when you're successful. No, that's the wrong way. Because the people that already know they can do it, they would have expected that you would have reached out to them first. Right? It's kind of, you don't even know me if you didn't call me first. I want you to, you should have contacted me. But even say I don't acknowledge it, you know, you just keep loving on me. You put a better person in front of me. You get my attention in any way that you can get it. Because then when I say I see it, I use my power in that direction too. So one person linking to another person to become stronger and stronger, right?
Wow. Yes. Thank you so much, Kingsley. This has been so much fun. Everyone, I know, you know, in the comments before, everyone was like, yes, yes, yes. This has been amazing, amazing. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your energy. And I'm so excited for you and your team. You're building this beautiful team in such a short period of time. And
amazing people. Yeah, they're so beautiful. I'm so grateful. Yeah. If you're watching this, Kathleen, love you so much. Yes. It's been an exciting 24 hours, guys. Let's keep going.
And this is what it's all about. Welcome. If you're listening to this for the first time, you know, welcome to the Healy effect. You know, this is a phenomena that's happening in the hearts and minds of all these beautiful people. So if you're ready to build, you know, this incredible movement and business, hold on, because it can grow very, very fast. This is truly the opportunity that I feel I can stand confidently in front of anyone and say, you can change your life completely if you work with us. Let's go. Let me show you how. And so any final comments before we wrap it up?
I just think you guys are amazing. Love everything that you're doing. Thank you so much for your life journeys, bringing us all to this point as well. You know, you don't know what the ripple effect is. You don't know how your actions affect other people. You making the decision when you did in 2019, I hadn't even heard about this opportunity. And then whatever you did led to someone contacting me, you know, Sally, bringing Sally back into my life, one of the, you know, the greatest blessings that I could even imagine. And then, yeah, and then starting that ripple effect for me as well, building a global business again, and, you know, becoming the best version of myself. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, so welcome. Oh, can't wait to go have oysters with you on the beach again. Well, you don't eat oysters, but we'll have oysters.
We'll have oysters.
We'll have a green smoothie. Thank you so much for your time again. Just a quick little update, everybody. So, the last 20 so hours with the promotion. Tonight, I'm actually running a webinar. So for anyone who wants to jump on Sydney time, 7 p.m., I'm going to put that in here in the chat. Unpin. And this will be for anyone that wants to learn about Healy. 7th of September, this is the one, 7 p.m. tonight. So this will be in the chat group. We're also launching something super exciting. So this Wednesday is an accelerator business training. Brandon and I are doing an actionable step every day for a couple of weeks for a challenge, a mindset/business challenge. So if you're beginning your Healy journey, or if you have started and you've lost a bit of momentum and you're really wanting to get the skills, all the stuff that we've been doing behind the scenes for 8 months, we're literally going to be like, here, this is everything we've been using, all the systems and scripts and how-tos to help you create action with getting this incredible machine we call Healy into more hearts and minds of people globally. So if you want to be a part of that, I'm going to put this in the chat right now too. There's an application process. Not everyone will be accepted, but those of you who have the right time and you're really wanting to commit to this, this will be more of a focus group. So that's you as well as the people in your team who want to learn the basics and the fundamentals. The fundamentals are the most important part to build a massive building, right? So we're just going to finish off. We're going to ask everyone to unmute.
And just bring the energy, guys, to congratulate and thank Kingsley for his time, his wisdom, and his experience.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck, Kingsley.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Love you so much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
See you later.
I'm just going to get a quick photo. Who wants to be in the photo?
Yeah.
Switch your photos. Yeah. Switch your videos on if you haven't already.
Okay.
Great.
Instead of at events now, the events is the Zoom. So hang on a minute.
Come on, switch your videos on. Switch your videos on.
The video. No, he's taking it.
It's dark, you can't see.
Great to see you all.
All right, guys. Till next time. See you guys on the call tonight.
We've got also a webinar tomorrow, which is every Tuesday at 11 a.m. We also have the Friday. I'm going to be talking more about the remote sessions this Friday, 11 a.m.
Yes.
And
Yes.
The remote session on Friday.
Yep. Super
Yes.
excited. Jump into the groups, jump into the units, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days.
See ya.
All right.
Much love.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
See ya.